go to you. When you see the green lights flashing, the red lights flashing, a little bit of blue around the set, you know it's Christmas season and we come correct. This is Kicking It With Nairabet. My name is Tracy Chappelle, the one you call Swa, aka Swa, the Queen of Sports. We had to drag people all the way from London into Lagos. Not be whiskey. We had to drag people all the way from local Lekki, yes, into another side of Lekki. And of course, local woman will be here for all the fun. So let's divide, scatter, and enter the banter. And yes, to the man in blue, or rather in green, Mr. GQ, you be Ndonofit within this up.
Actually got it wrong. It's actually in Ndonofit.
Ndonofit.
It's actually in Ndonofit.
One day I will get
just making sure. Well, I love to be here today. It's great. You know, Christmas is. I always say Christmas is. Once it's December 1st, I keep telling all the people around me Merry Christmas because we wait for 11 months and the month just flies away. It just breezes past us, and before it's 25th, and before you know it, it's 31st, and we're all waiting for it again. So I love the Christmas, and it's interesting because I'm born in December as well. So that is great, and it's good to have AY back.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, it's good to be back, but I don't know why you guys are getting excited about Christmas.
I love it.
Like kids. But I mean, Christmas season is a season to be merry.
I'm a child of hat.
And okay, well, if you say so. Christmas season is a season to be merry. Dirty December. We're expecting dirty December.
No, not so dirty, please.
But it's good to be back. It's been a long time. Last time I was on the show was in January, so that's a good 11
January,
months.
like 5 years ago.
No, January.
That's like 5 years ago.
So
I think that was my birthday.
Something around that time, yeah.
So I haven't seen you in 11 months.
Absolutely. So
Happy New Year, my brother.
It's good to be back. Happy New Year, whichever one. It's good to be back, and I'm glad to be back as well.
Really, really, really great to see you here, even with the extra grace you're sporting. And now, not to some.
I'm not older though. People tell me I look younger in this. So
I think you look older. I think you look fresher.
It's just jealous. It doesn't have connecting beards.
This guy has been trying since, and somebody that's been trying since into the banter. The man tried. We said he was washed out. And then he kind of did something that was kind of, in my opinion, revolutionary. He transformed a 4-3-3 formation into a 4-3-2-1 package. I'm talking about Jose Mourinho and the way he has been taking out teams back to back. The teams that we thought were supposed to be is Waterloo, Manchester City, Chelsea, and of course Arsenal. Let me go to you before I enter AY matter, because AY don't they grind the teeth for corner. So I know say he can get lots of things to talk. Yubi, is Mourinho masterclass something we should be excited about as they look like contenders now, Tottenham?
I think it's easy to run on stereotypes and say that, Jose is finished, he's a dinosaur, and he hasn't changed from his time at Chelsea and Manchester United. But, if you look closely, you realize that there are a few adaptations to his, what I would call philosophy, which is what a lot of people call it. I just sense that we're beginning to see, of course, a different side of Jose, but fundamentally the principles are the same. I don't think anybody who has been that successful should change the basics of what has made them that successful. Obviously now there's a bit more, there's an iteration to the game. Before you had this very immobile, if you like, defensive midfielder. Yeah. Nowadays you have a bit of a more technical, water carrier in Højbjerg and whatnot. But those things are irrelevant in my opinion. The systems and whatnot. I just sense that when you have a camaraderie that Mourinho has currently got with the Spurs players, it changes the dynamics of whatever tactic you're using. And what Mourinho has always thrived off is at Chelsea, at Real Madrid, at Inter Milan, is that camaraderie, that man-to-man warriors who are going to go there, underdog mentality, defeat, run harder than them, tackle harder, run, chase every ball, second balls we win, we're just hard to beat. And I think that, that's what Jose is unlocking with Tottenham, and when you see players like Højbjerg, charging to Mourinho, and you see the attraction between both of them, that is my opinion. That in my opinion is the difference. You see what Son is doing, playing with a smile on their face. Kane now, in my opinion, understands that, scoring 10 goals in a game and not winning in the end would not guarantee you anything. I think they're buying into Mourinho's philosophy, and it's great. And Jose now feels once more that he has got the players he wants, and the players understand him for the guy he is.
He has said a lot about Jose and what he feels makes sense for their title challenge camaraderie. Do you support him, or is it about, just time and chance, taking your chances?
I mean, Spurs are a very good team. They've got good players. Jose Mourinho is a great manager. We all know that. Never bought into the story about it's finished.
It's finished!
All that bullshit was all rubbish as far as I was concerned. I mean, I don't want to use the word fail because he won 2 trophies at United, but in terms of winning the big trophies, which he was brought United to win, you talked about like that underdog attitude and everything. The 2 clubs where he had his most problems, even though he won trophies, as in Jose Mourinho, Manchester United and Real Madrid.
Yep.
Yeah.
Because these 2 clubs really are not underdogs.
So
if you understand what I mean.
You can't sell them that akara.
You cannot sell them that akara. That kind of mentality of we're the underdogs, we're going to chase everything, we're going to do away without the ball. You know, those kind of, especially at the time he took over when Van Gaal had come in and we're expecting a big manager, Mourinho, to come in. So that's why he's had his most problems at United and Real Madrid. And despite winning trophies at these 2 clubs, Real Madrid as a football club will not accept the fact that we're giving away possession. It can happen in a game where a team has more possession than you or a team dominates you. It can happen. I'm not saying it can never happen. But where your primary objective at the start of the season or in most of the games is to be like the underdog. Even if you win 10 trophies at these clubs, it will... They would, of course, they will accept the trophy. Yes, it makes them feel fun. They will accept the trophies.
But
they will accept the trophies. But they will.
So is it a tough watch?
No, I don't know about Graham Souness. As I said to you, I don't rate Graham Souness. I don't rate him as a human being. I don't rate him as a pundit. I never rated him as a player. They say he was a great player. I think he was just a midfield destroyer. So never bring Graham Souness' opinion to me as a yardstick for anyone.
Right.
For me, the man does not exist. It's useless. It's crap.
Okay.
So those are my views on Graham Souness.
Before you finish,
But before we say that, but to Tottenham have never been, well, not that they've never been, this is not a position Spurs are in. If Spurs want to defend with 11 players or attack with 11 players, whatever it tells them to do, they will accept. And to the club, they wouldn't complain because they don't usually get to these heights.
Yeah.
But in terms of being title contenders, yes, they are title contenders. Yes, forget when you give up possession doesn't mean you're playing bad football. By the way, do you understand?
You know what?
That's
It
the
doesn't.
weirdest thing.
I love the fact that we have this on.
No, it doesn't mean you're playing bad football. Doesn't mean you can control the game without having the ball.
2 seasons ago, nobody will agree because they'll say you're parking the bus. But suddenly, parking the bus is now all the rage.
No, but parking the bus is different.
It's
There's
different,
a
actually.
difference in when there's some Mourinho games, for instance. Was it last season that we're talking about? I said when you play defensively and you don't have a threat on the counter.
Right.
It's just
That's parking the
that's
bus.
the problem. Yeah.
That's the problem. But when Spurs play counter-attacking football now,
transition.
They're setting
when
traps
you
for
see
you.
the play, when you see the players, and then boom, in support, you have to have players in support. I can remember, was it Liverpool? We're talking about when you play against Liverpool. We're talking about it last season. There's no hope for you if you play against Liverpool at their very best last season. You're defending, you're parking the bus, and when you get the ball, you're going to get the ball 25%, 30% of the time. When you get the ball, you have only one man. You hit the one man, right? And then there's no players. There's nobody sprinting in support. Okay. What you're going to get is either if Liverpool don't score, you play a 0-0 draw. That's all you will get because you don't get a man in support.
You're never going to win.
You're never going to win.
Now, speaking of
I
somebody
was just going to say,
Yeah,
before we leave, and I know we've taken a bit more time on Jose Mourinho, I was just going to ask, can Tottenham genuinely, do they have the players to play the kind of stuff City played 2 seasons ago? Tip, tap, give and go?
No, I
don't think they do.
I think no. It's not like they do. It's not like they do or they
don't
don't.
do tiki-taka.
I think
They're
great
not-
management.
The bottom line is a manager will buy players to suit what he wants. Mourinho bought 7 players this summer. He didn't buy any player to play tiki-taka. So
Right.
it's not a case of can they do it or can they not do it. If City decide to buy the kind of players that
Rodri and rest, you know.
like they've bought who
Yeah.
just want to play 5-yard, 1-2 touch,
Yeah.
that's their problem. So if they buy Holberg and buy some of the players, then like
Yeah.
Bale.
Yeah.
Bale doesn't play one touch, all this
Yeah.
tiki
He
taka.
doesn't.
Bale is a sprinter, for instance.
Yeah.
Holberg, not Holberg. What's the
Aurier.
name?
Vinicius.
Vinicius.
The name of
Regular-
the wingers,
What's
Bergwijn.
his face?
Bergwijn and Mora. They're not players who go the one
And
touch.
that, in my opinion, is great management. I think you have to
Buy the
use
players.
the players.
Absolutely,
that
you buy
think,
the
you know,
players.
get
So
the best out of.
Mourinho has bought the kind of players to play the way he wants to play,
Ultimately.
which is simple and
And-
it's direct football, counter-attacking football, and of course when you play against the smaller teams, you dominate them still.
You know what? We can stay on this Mourinho topic and we will not exhaust it. But before we jump into another manager, just an aside, just know, people of God and people of sports, Jose Mourinho's players are the players that get to play almost 75% of short passes at their own half. But when they're in the other half,
Yeah.
they don't bother. They just do collect the ball
Yeah.
and jackpot. So I think on some level, Baba is collecting somebody's style of football and merging it to his own. I will not mention the name for somebody that has a BK as his hand. Come and drag me somewhere. Now I'm going to move to someone that you mentioned, Yubi. That it's about the camaraderie, and you mentioned that it's about getting the players you want to play what you want to play.
Yeah.
Right. Now this particular manager, he has the DNA, and on some level, he's getting the results. Most away wins by Manchester United in like almost like 30,
we're
35
talking
years,
about
like,
Ole.
in like
Yeah.
forever. They don't do back to back
Yeah.
away wins. Like away is their groove now. At home, they are really fucked up. So I'm going to ask you, Yubi, what is going on with Ole? So much that even though he's getting the results after the first 6 games of this season, people on Twitter are calling him Struggle FC. Why is the perception not matching with the results? I mean, he's not doing badly. Come to think about it.
No, I mean, myself and AY have been having an interesting back and forth. I've been trying to wind their way up as far as
Guys, you should have been here for this. The BTS for March.
I just sense that with United, there are always 5 meters away from a negative atmosphere. And I think anybody associated with the club must realize this is true. United set such high standards that anything that comes remotely away from that will be seen as failure, even when, if you take a closer look, it might be relative success. And that's what United has, in my opinion, suffering from the success of Alex Ferguson. And that's not to say Ole has been fantastic, but the truth is that the standards United have set over the years will continue hunting every manager that's gone there. What I believe should be done is what Liverpool did. Liverpool for many years tried to replicate, what they did in their glory days, until they certainly settled on Klopp and said, you know what,
just
do what you need to do to win, right? And the moment they accepted that, it's almost like denial, and you accept it that this is the way we are going to go now. Things start, the priorities and the expectations are automatically reset. But that's not to say Ole has done a great job, and obviously the away record is fantastic. And when you got the quality of Cavani and, Pogba and Bruno Fernandes, I think you should win those games. But then it still takes character to actually, win those games. But in the grand scheme of things, United are always moving one step forward and 2 steps backward, and that's just the ultimate problem.
Okay, I'm going to put a pin on this and throw this to you as a United fan. Basically,
he's a super fan, actually.
He's a super fan
Yes.
because he has been dragging us. I've not go to watch match, no Trafford up and
director's
down.
box ticket.
Thunder
and
go
all that
fire
stuff.
you. I go enter your pocket when you dey go Trafford go watch match next time, sir. Just saying. So the question is this, basically, what does Ole have to do to maintain that mentality when you want to break down big clubs? Because there's a Manchester derby. We'll talk about that in a bit. There's a Manchester derby in just a few. And, if he can forehand for Aston Villa and he has not really shored up the results when it comes to big clubs like, okay, Tottenham, what does he need to do?
Listen, I don't understand this. I don't know why all of a sudden 3 games against the so-called big clubs this season has become a yardstick.
Aston Villa use them to shine too.
Have we played Villa this season?
Yes.
No, we've not played Villa this
I
season.
don't think he played Villa.
No, we've not played
Crystal
Villa.
Palace, was it? Was it
Okay,
Crystal
now,
Palace?
okay,
Yeah.
this is not throwing
Crystal Palace,
excuses.
yes.
This is
Yeah.
not throwing
Opening game, I think.
excuses around, yeah? I want you to go and look at the first 3-4 games of the season for United, City, and Wolves. Go and look at the first 3-4 games. These were the 3 teams who were into those knockout competition of the later stages of UEFA competitions last season. So when everybody else had finished their season, United, Wolves, and City were still playing. United got into semi-finals. Wolves got into quarterfinals. City got into quarterfinals, right?
Just 2 games, though.
Sorry?
Just 2 games.
What do you mean?
Just 2 games.
He had to put it in.
Yeah, just 2 games, but 2 games over like a 10-day period.
Yeah.
Right? So that's 10 days, where others have gone into full end of season. United play quarterfinals and semi-finals, right? In those 2 games. And before the game started, when did the season finish?
It finished in
End of
September,
July.
End of July.
When did
September.
United...
Was it July?
Yeah, July.
Yeah,
July 26th.
Then ultimately
United,
finished in August.
Yeah.
Yeah, United played that.
2 weeks difference,
Yeah.
basically.
So United played their first game of the competition.
September.
Of the competition sometime in mid-August, right? about
The
mid-August.
Premier League.
No, not
No,
Premier League. The Europa League. So before, obviously, the season finished today. United did not play the Europa League game tomorrow.
Of course.
Right? So there was a few days. I'm talking about all the teams, not even just United. So there was a few day gap before the 10 days. So we're talking about 15 to 16 days, right? Where United, City, and the rest were still in trap. United were in Cologne, in Lisbon and the rest.
Yeah.
Whereas all the other season teams have completed the season.
So you're saying
United came into this season playing the last game at the maybe 20th of August or something like that, about 18th of August. And then they were playing their first game of the season 3 weeks later. When did the players get a rest? When did the players get a pre-season?
But it's a big squad, that's why
No, it's not. No, that's not squad depth. That's not squad depth because all of them were in Lisbon or Cologne, whatever it was. All of them were there, and all of them finished the season together.
It's not like
let me finish what I'm saying. No, it's not traveling. The fact is, it's not about hotels. It's not about traveling. The fact is, other teams from July 26 were on holiday.
Okay.
Right? They had their feet up. They had a full month before going into a new season. More than a full month. These other three teams basically had 2 weeks. They had 1 week of rest when the players went away, 1 week of pre-season. And that's what happened. And if you look at the results when we play Crystal Palace, United just look at the players. The players could just they couldn't even move. They were basically still in holiday mode. Go and look at City. City played their first game was against Wolves. Obviously, they were in the same. They were in the same category where
the same WhatsApp group.
The same WhatsApp group, and now they won that game. Obviously, one person had to win. But look at the next 2 games after. Wolves and City, and it happened with United. United didn't play well at Brighton, even though we won. And then the third game was it Spurs? Spurs was the third game. United were clearly not ready for the season. And this is not blaming the coach or blaming the players or anything. It was the simple fact of they went on holiday. Within a few days, they're playing a new season completely. And over time, so for me, for those two teams, look at City now. City all of a sudden look like they're firing. United are much better than they were. Wolves are much better than they were. Forget that they lost to Liverpool. Yeah, they lost. Anybody can lose to Liverpool 4-0 at any freaking time. Whether you're 100% fit or you're 1% fit. So, but look at the results from game 4, game 5 of these three teams. Game 6. All these teams have improved. The 3 teams we're talking about. United have shut up the table. When I was saying that United are, if United win their game in hand against Burnley, they'll be 2 points behind Spurs. And I'm like,
I think everybody's surprised about that, but I mean, it's what it is.
What's the crisis?
Simply
apart from the fact that those early season games still keep ringing in people's ears.
Okay, you know what I'm going to do? You know what I'm going to do, guys? You know what I'm going to do? Because we're in a generous mood, and don't forget that we are still giving 1 million away on Kicking It With Nairabet and the Nairabet platform. Just waka go the usual spots. You'll see them walking around on the bottom of the screen, you know, from the website to the YouTube to the Twitter to the Instagram. Oh, it's Gram now. It's not Grant again. So it's the Instagram. Just go there and follow all the terms and conditions, and you know what to do. You can get yourself some free tickets and free giveaway. I'll put this to you. If you have alternative options from what they are preferred as the problem and the solution for Manchester United and Ole, put your thoughts down. We like people that comment with us. It's a banter room, but it's an open house. Now I'm going to take this to a place that is for my heart. People, when we started this season on this couch, I thought that Arsenal would be a contender. But God will punish Arteta.
Contender for relegation? Or for what?
No, they're digging for higher.
I love Hurricane's comment. They don't have enough to stay up.
Hey!
They have enough to stay up.
Please. Somebody explain to me. How is it that they lack creativity in Arsenal?
Well, I don't understand. Listen, as I was saying, we said it's off air. But UB doesn't seem to agree. Anyone can win a cup, right?
I don't agree.
I don't agree.
Okay.
I get the point.
Yeah, anyone can win a cup.
Yes,
anyone can win a cup. But the measure of success of any football manager is performances in the league. That's your bread and butter. That's 38 games over the course of a season, where sometimes you get injuries, sometimes you have everybody fit, sometimes you have suspensions, and every team gets that over 38 games, right? Over a period of time, and you play each other twice, home and away. That is the measure. And that is why a manager who wins 5 league titles, plus a manager who wins, say, 5 Champions Leagues, the one who's won 5 league titles is rated more than the one who's won 5 Champions League titles.
Okay.
Yeah, because it's a measure. You don't win the league by fluke. Nobody. Tell me one title, one league title. No, they were the best team.
Actually, they were.
No, they were the best team. They were consistently the best team in the league that season.
I'm just going to use the same.
You don't win the league title by fluke. You can win a cup by fluke. You can fluke a cup win.
Oh, like it's that.
No, I'm not saying Zidane fluked the cup win or anything. Zidane won
It can't be a fluke. It can't be a fluke when you've done it 3 times.
But you can.
I mean, he was saying
bottom line. What I'm saying is, you can fluke a cup win, like an FA Cup win, or a Carabao Cup.
Finesse.
But you cannot fluke a league title win. It's over 38 games. You will get found out.
What I would say to that is,
and cup. Don't forget, cup games as well. You can be drawn at home consistently.
Okay.
Before you get to semi-finals where you play at Wembley,
which is a great point.
So those things go for you when you play in the cup.
So,
when
you're manager, not a league manager.
Not necessarily. I'm not saying. So what you're saying about Arteta is everyone got gassed, everyone got carried away. Oh, they won the FA Cup. He's become a great manager. Or is this? Is that? No, they won a cup, which is I'm not trying to demean winning a cup.
2 cups.
Don't get me wrong. You can win. Forget the Community Shield. It's a friendly game. It's a friendly game. That's not a trophy.
8 is gonna 8.
No, that's not a trophy. I've never
8.
counted that as a trophy in my life. So I'm not about to start counting that now. So when you win that FA Cup, fine, your club succeeds, but we seem to forget they finished 8th or 9th in the league, right? Or what did they finish? 8th, and then the season starts. What were you expecting? Another FA Cup success, maybe, because league games. You're not drawn away from home or at home in the league games. You play home and away. And that's where Arsenal have been found out. They spent more money this summer than any other time that I can remember.
Okay.
They brought in players. Yes, they're still crap. So, what were you expecting, really? It's not because they won the cup.
Okay, you know what's going to happen. If we enter this Arsenal just and I throw it to you, we'll go over, shoot our shot, and as you can see, if you don't know, my producer is already rolling hand behind the camera to tell me that Kaigawa.
I just think that with the Arsenal conversation, all Mikel can do is, because this is the point where he's got the most capital at the club as a manager. This is the point where, if he says to the board, "I want this," there's likelihood they'll give it to him now.
Yeah, but he got it. He got what he wanted to get.
The point I'm trying to make is that, if the Ozil situation, because clearly we've seen Arsenal games, and clearly what they need is creativity in the team.
A 10 and 8.
You need
That's what
10.
But it's his choice to
what I'm saying is, as we have all deduced, this thing might be more than football, might be a bit political, might be a bit above the boardroom, front office stuff.
Yeah.
But if you ask the board saying, "Look, I think I need this guy."
Why do you think he's above the? Why do you think? Who tells you? Who has told you? What makes you decide?
Ozil starts the first 10 games of Mikel Arteta's reign,
season,
right?
And
all of a sudden cannot make the match squad.
Because in those games, and in training
I'm just saying, do you honestly believe that
Yes.
Ozil is such a bad trainer that he doesn't make the team?
Absolutely. I can believe that.
No,
I don't believe that for a
I
second.
can believe that.
That flex, you're on the wrong flex.
No, why? But why?
But you know what? We're gonna move.
Ndombele is the most, in last season, was the most lazy player I've ever seen. And he still made the match day squad.
It wasn't after the criticism of Jose.
It
wasn't.
He wasn't match day squad.
No, it wasn't. It was left out.
I just don't think that the World Cup winner would fall below the professional levels.
I think
that cannot make a match day squad
You
anymore.
know what? If we enter this Ozil thing.
The point I'm trying to make is that if Mikel goes to the board and says, "I think I need Ozil back in my team,"
It wasn't the board that took him out of the team. He took him out of the team.
Obviously, we're making assumptions
because we are not
but
there.
if he goes and
he
says,
took him out of the team. So why would he go to the board?
I don't know, he took him out of the team. I think that he's been
You think
coerced
by the board?
Oh yeah.
For what reason though?
See.
Wait, 30 seconds. For what reason? I can't see anything obvious.
Pay cost issues, the issue with the religious thing in China and all that stuff.
And the Erdogan thing with Turkey and all that stuff.
I think there was just too much.
I don't think so. He was already out of the team before the pay cut.
There's nobody that's going to
was out of the team before the pay cut
and what's not. They are not in the team. But you know what? Let's leave one attacking midfielder flex to talk about defensive midfielders and the flex they have been giving us this season. I'm going to talk about two teams that, God, they have been beautiful to watch, their defensive midfielders, and I'm talking about Tottenham and Chelsea. More so because both teams have the most goals this season already, in Europe and not just Europe, of course, England. So I'm going to ask three options, give you three options, and let you pick one. Is it the marauding defenders? Is it the technicality of the players? Or is it your vibes and Insha Allah 930 gets the best defenders right now for inside England?
Best defenders?
Yeah.
Best. I think defending is lost as an art in football. There's more emphasis on players who want to pass, and want to play the ball and all that stuff. I think you probably will find only one or two real centre backs that actually love to defend. But what's the question again?
I said, is it marauded defenders? Is it technical defenders?
That works for me.
What's the key thing now that's making these defensive midfielders, the best right now?
I think you've got to have a bit of both. I think the best in the league at the moment is Pierre Højbjerg. I think it's the best. Obviously Kante is back. I think he's back with his numbers are going great again. But I think Pierre Højbjerg is a fantastic combination of that omnipresence you need in central midfield, and when you need a quality pass like we saw I think against United, he has that as well in his locker. So
destiny dividing pass.
I think he's the one who's complete.
What pass?
I think he made a pass to Serge Aurier for the goal.
Do you feel like it may not just be the work of the defenders, but you must have a good goalkeeper, like the case of Chelsea?
Mendy's fantastic.
They dumped Arrizabalaga and suddenly their numbers went up.
The funny thing is the noise about Mendy. I don't see it. I don't see it. I think he's a good goalkeeper. I think he's a good goalkeeper. He's a decent goalkeeper. I don't think he's a great goalkeeper. I still think against United he was man of the match. But he could have killed Chelsea in that game. Did you see that back pass across goal?
It was nerves now, early days.
No, that's...
Early days.
Great goalkeepers don't have nerves like that.
No,
great goalkeepers.
Even Schmeichel had it.
First of all, I think it's the most difficult job in football to be a goalkeeper. I think Mendy would be, at the rate he's starting off, I think he'll go on to be one of the greats at Chelsea. If he stays long enough at Chelsea, if they win enough.
And you know what? And on that note, if they win enough and if he stays long enough, if you agree with what Yubi said or what AY said, that Mendy is shit.
I never said so. I never said it's shit. But I don't think it's as good as what the noise suggests. I think Thiago Silva has been a bigger influence coming into that team than the goalkeeper.
Goal package.
Thiago Silva.
You said Thiago, that first game when they said they do West Brom.
But that was this.
So what was that?
No, he made a mistake. It wasn't nerves. He made a mistake.
No. It's nerves.
No, you said nerves. No, you said nerves. No. You used the word nerves, not me. Mendy made a mistake. I didn't say it was nerves.
Thiago made a mistake.
He made a mistake.
Then Mendy, when it
was a mistake as well. That's what I said. You said nerves.
True, actually, so said nerves.
You said nerves.
I just said I packaged it nice.
Yeah, you packaged. I said it's a mistake. So it was a mistake, Thiago. And since that game, it's for me, he's had more influence in the team. Take him out of the team, and I personally think the team will suffer.
I just think Chelsea, as a full unit, Frank Lampard has reorganized the team to take lesser risk. I think structurally, Chelsea had a problem, and regardless of who you put there, put Maldini there, with the way Chelsea were playing last season, they keep conceding goals.
Yeah.
But as was clear against Tottenham, he made like-for-like subs. Did he unbalance the team in any way?
He didn't.
And fundamentally,
and that's why they probably will never win the league.
No, I mean, I think
there's some games
that's another competition. But I just think that structurally, they are more disciplined and defensive-minded. I think he's more in tune with the demands of the Premier League than at any point in time. So this thing he was doing before, where you would have Reece James bomb forward, then Zuma carries the ball and goes.
Be excellent with what we do.
That's personal, and I'm looking at it and I think, structurally they don't overly commit. And don't forget, they spent £250 million. It helps.
It helps.
In one summer.
And you know what helps is you getting to comment your thoughts, on the platform, on the bottom part of the platforms to, hear your view. Okay, Mendy is not shit. Why you can say that? I just, I was winding him up. But you know what? Any other contrary opinion, drop it there because we're about to go into the best part of the show and you want to be here for it. We want to shoot our shots and give out the odds for the weekend. Don't go anywhere. Welcome. Welcome to you it's still compliments of the season kind of season. And even though we're not hearing bangers everywhere, we're still hearing banging results and banging bets popping through on the Kicking It With Nairabet show. I'm still Tracy Chappelle, the one you call Swell, aka Swell, the queen of sports. And I'm with gentlemen wearing all of us are wearing glasses.
Just that
we're
mine is
these
recommended.
guys.
Yours is
So mine
fake,
is not
man.
Abi.
No.
Yours is recommended.
Shaq. Anyway, you know what? On a Shakity bubble level, time to pick out. I like doing this when I'm here. So I'm going to pick out one crystal ball, and I'm going to hand it over to Manchester United versus Manchester City. What do you see, sir?
Ooh, it's a tough one. United have not been playing well at home, and what the odds on United to beat City? United City are actually favourites to win the game, which is surprising.
Of course,
Of course.
Well, the last 3 occasions they've been to Old Trafford, United have beaten them, decimated them basically. So I'm surprised they're favourites to win at Old Trafford. Maybe because there are no fans, obviously. So it puts everything into.
Fans are popping in now, small. I think that game has a.
But United is a tier 3 zone, so they're still locked down in Manchester.
Yeah, that's true.
So there are no fans. United are 4.40, City are 1.83. But I think the game will be a draw. I mean, United. If I want United to win, but I personally think it will be a draw because United will not open up to attack City. But for betting purposes, at 4.4, I'll be grabbing a United win.
Grabbing a United
Yes,
win.
but generally, I think it will be a draw. But for betting purposes, I think I'll be grabbing a United.
I think
win.
City win actually. I think United win because
May I
City
have my crystal ball?
play with United.
Okay, you know what? On another aside, I'm going to put Gigi and the Bruno Fernandes possible goal because I feel like that guy is crazy and they will get penalty because Rashford is about the diving life these days. So I'm going to add this crystal ball to you. Thank you. This is for Chelsea versus Everton. Ancelotti's side going to a place where he used to, hunt and do business before, but they're not so.
No, Everton
much
are home.
It's on the blue side of Merseyside.
Goodison.
So also Goodison Park.
No
He changed
fans as
everything,
well.
oh.
It's still a tier 3, so.
Oh my, change everything. Is this Lampard's first loss to Ancelotti this season?
I think Chelsea win comfortably. The defense is a lot more stable. We talked about them a while ago. For Everton, obviously they can score goals, but they cannot keep clean sheets. That is a big problem. So on the balance of everything, I think Chelsea win. I think Chelsea score a lot of goals. At least Chelsea score
Over 2.5. Over 2.5.
I think over 2.5 is 3 goals plus.
Yeah.
I'd say a goal. But Chelsea score at least 3 goals.
At least 3
Both-
goals.
And Calvert-Lewin anytime goal scorer.
Both teams to score is 1.60 and
Put
both
that
teams
one in.
not to score is 2.35. Chelsea to win is 1.84 and Everton to win at 4.20. I think Everton are due a big win. They've been sinking like a stone in the last few weeks. They've been dropping like a stone in the last few weeks. And I think, James Rodriguez, I had someone having a go at him. It's got cold all of a sudden and he's not playing very well. This could be the time for them
The
to.
game changer.
This could be the game changer for betting purposes. For someone who is putting 100 naira, for someone who is putting
Change that.
little money on the bets. For betting purposes, I'll be going for an Everton win at 4.20.
That's 4.20.
Yes.
GG,
So it's a
definitely.
bold call.
GG, definitely. You're going to hold this crystal, sir. And then you're going to look into your crystal ball. Arsenal versus Burnley at the Emirates. Arteta, can he turn it around? Tarkowski, Woods, those guys are all scoring 1 or 2.
Arsenal will win.
Straight win.
Arsenal will straight win. Arsenal to win at Arsenal to win is 1.64. Burnley to win is 5.90. A draw is 4.10. I will go for an Arsenal win. Betting purposes, football purposes, whatever purpose you want to look at, is Arsenal are due a win. Arteta is under pressure, and I've been having a go at him as. I said
This
he's
is not
confused.
charity football. I don't recognize this one.
My take on him was that he's confused. He doesn't know whether to be pragmatic or to be attacking. So he's caught in between. But I think they will have too much for Burnley. Burnley are absolutely diabolical this season. They're dire. They're shocking. They're shit. And I think they will beat Burnley 2-1.
2-1. Okay, I think I'm prone to agree with what you just said. The last game to be featured on this particular, episode. Cristobal, sir. There are options here, but I think we should go with the Mourinho game. Tottenham versus Crystal Palace. A London derby of sorts. Well, senior brother versus Palasa brother. Do you think they can continue their lead on top of the table by securing a win against Crystal Palace at home?
But I just sense that it's the kind of game where Tottenham have to now show that, maybe not show, but they now have to play. And that's if you think they haven't been playing, because I think they've been playing great. You know, it's kind of game where the onus is on them to break down Crystal Palace and show that the quality they have got is overwhelming, and they can actually be champagne if you like.
Champagne.
You know, champagne. But I think Tottenham win. I don't think it will be a glamorous win, right? I think Tottenham win.
Is it because of the London derby kind of thing?
Oh, of course, a derby is a derby. But I think Tottenham win by 2-0. Defense is
Under
really
2.5.
Yeah, under 2.5. I don't think they score a lot of goals. I think they're conserving lots of energy at this point in time because December is going to be very cruel. I think they play Liverpool next.
Yeah.
And I think they play City sometime soon
about
as well.
crazy.
So yeah, I think Tottenham win. Straight win for Tottenham.
Straight win, under 2.5.
Straight win for Tottenham. Harry Kane scores a goal.
Harry Kane goal.
Yeah. If Spurs win, I think it will be 1-0 kind of, because Spurs they've mastered the art of winning those 1-0, like away to Burnley. They played Brighton and scored was 2-1, and there was one other game, Burnley, and who can't remember.
They just do the basics.
Yeah, they do the basics, and I know people talk about Spurs being expansive. They've not been expansive this season. They've scored the most goals, but that's because that gets miscued. What's the word? That was
misconstrued
because of that 6-1 win at Old Trafford when United were down.
In the Europa League they scored 6.
No,
also.
forget Europe. They play against crap opposition in the Europa League. I'm
But
talking about
United crap opposition.
no. I'm talking about crap opposition in the Europa League group stages. Like even Arsenal, as useless as they are, they're winning 3-0 and 4-1.
I love
So basically,
this.
what I'm saying is they won 6-1 at Old Trafford, which obviously is a brilliant result. Take nothing away from it.
Scored it against
But
West
don't
Ham.
forget that they played 3-3 though. So the bottom line is they were playing against 10 men from the 27th minute. So that can eschew a lot of things and make. But apart from that game, they've not had any 4-0 win in the league, for instance.
Okay, so do you
you understand what I'm saying?
does
But
the
so
odds put
what
it
I'm saying
up?
is they will win.
City have been doing
They will
1-0s.
win. They'll win. Yeah, City have not been scoring goals as well this season. I'm not disputing that fact. So don't compare. I'm not trying to compare.
Only
I'm only trying to give an analysis
But
of
odds
against
on
this game
yeah.
where they'll probably nick a game
Right.
by the odd goal.
No, go for
Like
it.
one of Son or Kane just scoring with 20 minutes to go and then shutting up shop and then get their 3 points. If that's my team, I'll be delighted. I'm not knocking what they're doing.
So
I'm just telling
any
you.
GG in the accumulator?
No.
No,
I don't
no
think so.
points.
If Spurs score 1, it will be 1-0.
Okay.
So it's not going to be 1-1.
So straight win then.
Straight
Straight win for
So then
Spurs,
you-
probably 1.86. 1.80 for a straight win for Spurs. And if you're brave and you think Palace could do it, 4.75.
If you have a Christmas ticket, don't forget that this season has been serving us a lot of unexpected ticket bonus. But you know what? That's the size of the show today. I am going to say thank you, Mr. GQ and Mr. AY, the bespectacled people. Apparently, this was how we started last year when I joined you. You know, it was like this only I was here.
It's great to see AY
So
back
it's
for
like
sure.
a full reunion. So thank you for hanging with us. I'm going to end the show by saying shout out to the birthday people for December. Thank you, Mr. Victor, for providing the drinks. Happy birthday.
The water in
That's
my
our
cup, by the way.
producer and DOP and every other thing on the side. I'm still going to give shout out to a friend of mine, Judith, Manchester United fan. I will chop your kick in a bit and we are out of here. I'm still swore. Follow Nairabet at Nairabet. Kicking It With Nairabet. And you know what? Stick in Nairabet again.
Instagram, Twitter.
Instagram, Twitter,
Love
and
it.
on YouTube. See? Merry Christmas. Welcome.